Hello, I'm Kevin Benedict, Senior Vice President of Solution Strategy here at Regalix. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. We're here in downtown New York City, and I'm just thrilled to have as my guest, Efrat Ravid.
Thank you so much for having me, Kevin.
Absolutely. Efrat is the CMO of ContentSquare, a very interesting company that works with some of the biggest brands out there. So, Efrat, I love New York. Is this what they call Midtown here?
Yeah, this is Midtown New York. This is our headquarters office in Americas. We also have headquarters in Paris and London.
That's wonderful. And it's a beautiful day. You can't really see it, but right up here is the Empire State Building right behind us, so it's a beautiful view. So for those of you that are not familiar out there with ContentSquare and the role it plays in digital marketing, Efrat, why don't you give us a snapshot of what ContentSquare is all about?
ContentSquare is digital insight platform. What it means is that we help companies or big brands to really understand what the customers do in any of their digital assets, if it's web, mobile, or app. And from that, we give them insight per the role in the organization, how to really improve the digital experience, to improve engagement, to improve conversion, whatever the KPI is.
Okay, so what is the buzzword that describes your category of solution? Is it activity-based marketing, or what is it?
I would say it's digital analytics or marketing, digital marketing analytics.
Okay, so walk us through a scenario where ContentSquare's analytics might help.
We help, for example, retailers who understand that they need to move from selling old way style through this digital transformation and really understand how to improve the entire digital experience. If they go to the stores and they need they succeed to provide amazing experience, once you go to their website, it's not as amazing. And then they compete like everyone else with Amazon on price.
Right.
But we are talking about amazing brands. So they work for years, even decades, right, to build these amazing brands.
Right.
And now when the transition moved to digital, we all spent 8 hours a day on digital.
Right.
The experience is different, and we help them to transform and really provide this great experience that they succeed to do everything else in the brand into the digital experience. And retail is only one example. Finance, banks, insurance company, we're all facing the same thing, that we move from old way to new way, and the new way have new rules.
Okay.
And you cannot play with the new rules without knowing your customers. And we provide this extra data or extra information about what the customer wants to do on their sites or digital or mobile or app, and how to provide it in an easy way.
So, Efrat, who are you targeting? You know, who's your target market out there for ContentSquare?
So we are targeting mainly brands that need digital transformation. Some of our customers are LVHS, Renault, BMP, really big brands that need the digital transformation. Walmart, Tiffany's, Goldman Sachs, across all industry.
So in this series, and this is part of our Digital and Marketing Leaders interview series, we talk a lot about digital transformation in the context of marketing. Yeah. So you're seeing this as the ability to take maybe long-established brands out there and make sure that when they are communicated in a digital format, that they're being optimized to reflect the brand that is intended.
Exactly.
So, and you do that across web and mobile and tablets, all those different environments?
Yeah, and apps as well, of course.
And apps
so what we do is we actually record that everything that happens on the digital assets. Every tilt, every zoom in, zoom out, hover of a mouse, of course clicks, and we take all this huge information and distilled it to something very clear that people can get the information from the micro, till the micro, from the aggregate data till the real small segment information that you need to know why people exit, why they bounce, why people didn't behave the way they did, why they got frustrated, or why they're really doing well, and we want to repeat that as well. So all this information we provide. And then with our artificial intelligence, we have a new, I would call it functionality, which we call it user experience performance tool or center, that per your role in the organization, we tell you this is the issue, this is how we find the issue, and this is what you need to do in order to fix it.
Okay.
And this you can do only with when you get so much data and machine learning and artificial intelligence to really get into the point of not only we find a problem, but what you need to do to improve it.
So yesterday I was in a conference where they were talking about a top 5 retailer having 2,000 different websites across all their products. And so your solution would look at all those using artificial intelligence and predict the various paths to purchase, how users treat each of those webs, what content works, what content doesn't, or which one they click on but they jump right off and they don't actually consume the data. Am I understanding this right?
Yes, we are even doing it one step further. So not only will we do it per different websites, we are doing it per the in-page analytics. What does it mean? In the page itself, we will tell you which image works, which doesn't. In the form, we will tell you this actually question really frustrate people, and the way we know that is because the same form people will click 5 times or get some struggle, and there is no other way you would know that people struggle on this field specifically unless you use our product.
So you talk about artificial intelligence being able to consume and review and analyze all that, but on the automation side, does it actually give you suggestions on what to do about it, or does it just give you data?
It will give you ideas of how to do it, what to know. So without testing, it's all opinion.
Right.
So it will give you some ideas of what we think is the main problem and how to solve it, but it usually gives you a hypothesis, and you will need to test it in order to see that works. What I love about digital, and this is why I love my job, is everything is an opinion unless you actually test it. And I'm doing a position of CMO for over a decade, and I always learned that I make so many mistakes unless I actually see it myself and learn. And it's really interesting in how easy is to get this data and how accessible it is. If in the past, and this is one of the things for big retailers as well, is that they have a group of operation analysts, each company call it a little different, and they own the data and they own the business questions and the business answers. So if you want as a marketer to get a question, you go to ask them, and then they say, okay, we have a priority list.
Right.
Even in big companies, right? We have a huge priority list, or the person that yells the most, or because you have good relationship, or you just get in the bottom. And if I'm a CMO, I'll probably get it higher, right, in the list. But it takes me so long until I get the data and the information that I probably will make a lot of mistakes on the way, because how much I can wait?
Right.
I mean, we need to be agile, we need to be fast, we cannot wait. And what I love about ContentSquare solution is that it's accessible for everyone in the digital team. You don't need to be an analyst in order to create segment. You don't need to be an analyst in order to look at the insight and the data. We have a more deep functionalities that analysts can use in order to get even more data. But the common, basic business questions you get like this.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So I understand as a business person and as a marketeer why I would want a solution like this digital insights platform that would help me understand what on my site is working, what is not, how do people actually use my my website, because we all presume there's certain paths to purchase and customer journeys, but in fact, the data might show that a customer doesn't actually follow that path at all.
Yes.
They click here and jump straight over to something else, jump over to a case study, and then go down and look at something else. And that wasn't the path you were designing for them, but now you can actually respond with data. So I understand as a marketeer why that's important, and as a businessman why that's important. How might the end customer see an improved experience as a result of a company using your platform?
So it really depends on the customer KPI. So I will use a basic KPI, which is conversion. So without mentioning name of customers, one of our biggest customers, or big brand, not biggest customer, one of the big brands that have sites everywhere in the world. What they did localization or translations. They took the same site and translated in different languages, and they find out with ContentSquare that Germany digitally behave completely different than American.
Interesting.
So, for example, when they do the checkout, the first thing they look at is terms of condition, of course. And the people that couldn't find the terms of condition because we usually hide it, bounce. But the people that find it are more likely 1 to 3 actually succeed to buy, which is a huge number. And in the US, no one ever look at this data, right? Term of condition, so you really hide it. And you need to present the data completely different. We have another brand really known in the jewelry industry that one of the things is that the images were so heavy because they're so beautiful, they're so heavy that people in mobile just bounce. Although the experience was amazing once they saw it, they just couldn't see it. We have another brand that really focus on Z generation, and we find with them, we do a lot of research and data about Z generation because they are, unlike us, they were born with mobile in their hand, right, while breastfeeding, or the mom breastfeeded them. So what is really interesting with them is that if we don't react really fast for what they want, they bounce really fast. But if you react to what they want really quickly and provide them only the information they want, and you can see it very easy with our solution.
So that's the tie-in back to personalization and context.
Exactly.
If you can personalize the experience, and you know they're a Generation Z, then you make sure the experience changes for them, and it's a different kind of experience for them.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. And if they're German and Generation Z, then
a lot of detail and fast.
Absolutely. So let's switch from kind of a focus on the ContentSquare value proposition, and let's talk about you.
Okay.
And your job as CMO. You've been a CMO for over a decade. How is being a CMO here at ContentSquare different from your previous positions?
So I would say that it's CMO on steroids. It means that everything is really fast. We have the right product on the right time. I mean, people really need our product in order to strive and survive. And we are growing really, really fast, and we need to supply a lot of content. We have a ton of research, we have so much data, and we just need to run really, really fast. I'm a long distance runner, so now I'm trying to work on my sprints as well.
Oh, so sprints and long distance.
Exactly.
Great. So you've been a CMO for over a decade. So if we just go back 5 years, how have you seen the role of a CMO in this profession change?
It's very interesting. So one thing to me, to a great marketeer, is the same. We need to understand our customer. We need to love our customer, and we need to understand them. And now we have much more tools and data to do that. ContentSquare is one example. There are other tools that I use in addition to ContentSquare to listen to how they do emails, to listen to them, but really digital listen to our customers. That's number one. Number two, everything is too much. There are 6,000 digital solution out there. There is so many emails that we get, thousands of emails that we get every day. Everything is too much. And to do great marketing right now, you need to be very creative. So I hire really amazing creative team. I'm very lucky to have a really, really amazing creative team. And every day they come with a great idea. Some work, some don't. We just let them run and see what stick. With a lot of, and we can see what stick really, really quick.
So marketing content, let's talk about how that's also evolved. In years past, maybe a 20-page white paper was the way of convincing somebody if they would read all the stats that your product was the best.
Yeah.
Today behaviors might be different. Talk to me about how you've seen behaviors with specifically content that's focused on marketing.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So we all understand that content is a king or queen
Yes.
of the kingdom, and now it's all about relevant content, but it's more than that. It's about content that provide you value right now. And you don't have time to read, but you are with your mobile all the time. So we need a very easy way to consume content. We need everything to be very short. We need everything to be very visual. And we need it to add value. And we need to be different because there's so much content out there. How can you make sure that you provide the right content to the right person at the right time when they need it? So that's a lot of art and science.
Oh, absolutely. So does that lean toward small videos? Does that lean toward podcasts? I mean, where are the trends?
So it's small videos, it's small images, it's small cartoons. It's
Optimized
blogs,
for a mobile app.
Optimized for mobile maps. It's blogs. What really interesting our customers to hear other customers. So I'm a B2B marketer. They want to hear B2C marketer, another CMO from another company. So we do a lot of sessions like that. We do a lot of meetings with them and with the content. And what we really like to do, which we find very successful, is research on real data. So for example, our Z generation information, it's very unique because only we can get this type of information.
Right.
We did another one about gifting for Valentine's Day, what is the most romantic country, and this is really interesting to see.
So let me ask you right now, who do you think, which country is the most romantic? Think about it. Okay.
So it's really interesting. So the US spend on gifts in average much more than any country, even France.
Man, we're so romantic.
We are very romantic, but what we spend is different. So if in France it's more about jewelry and flowers and wine, in the US could be something else, but in general the US is much more creative about gifting than other countries.
Okay, so fascinating there. So let's look forward now. How do you've talked to us about how you've seen the market evolve over the last 5 years. Where do you think it's going over the next 3?
It's actually, I'm very optimistic. Because all the things we don't like to do as people, which is repetitive, do something many times, or look at data, and all the things that we don't want to do, our artificial intelligent bots will be able to do for us. And I'm very optimistic that we will be able to focus on what human beings are very good at: understand their customer, understand emotion, understand how people behave, and be creative. And all the other things machines will do, which I love.
Oh yes, that's brilliant. And as CMOs, their area of responsibility is dramatically increasing because so much of the content is digital. All the interaction points are increasingly digital, and so it seems like the CMO is in part of all of that, right?
Marketing is everything. It's all about understand your customer and react to it. So
and you will need, in fact, automation and artificial intelligence and machine learning to help manage the sheer volume of digital content.
I agree.
Okay, well, I want to thank you so much, Efrat, for sharing with us, and I want to thank all of you for staying with us. Enjoy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.